What is going on, guys? Happy Money Monday. I hope you guys had an amazing day and even a greater weekend. We got back to work today. Markets just closed 6 minutes ago. We did the Sunday talk last night, and during the pre-market prep, we talked about how things have been starting to dry up. Volume's been starting to dry up. We've been seeing really good plays right out of the open within the first 10, 20 minutes, and then failed follow through. Stocks coming up to high of day, not breaking through. A lot of range bound plays. We're going to talk about a few topics. And I want to talk about the Discord here. So earlier, I just pointed out and asked everybody, so what did we learn today? And this is a good exercise that I'm going to start doing at the end of every day. Every day, you should be learning something new as a trader. This is how you start to separate yourself from everybody else. You learn from your mistakes. That way, when the opportunity arises again, you can capitalize on it. Just give me 1 second, guys. All right, so what did we learn today? Danzig says if you are up 700 in Mara and Riot, take profits or lose out. That's saying a lot right there. Every trade, you should have a plan. You should have a area where you're going to be taking profit or where you're going to cut the trade for a loss. It never hurts to lock in profits as the stock pushes up and up and up. Let's say you have 1,000 shares and it's pushing up and it's pushing you up into the profit. Just by easily scaling out, taking off 200 shares there, 200 shares there, locking in those profits, because remember, those profits are not yours until you lock them in. That's why with a lot of trading platforms, they have it where it says realized and unrealized. Until you lock those profits in, that's realized profits. Unrealized is what you still have on the table. It's not locked in yet. So it never hurts to take in and lock in profits. It never hurts. Pay yourself along the way. Because nobody knows 100% where a stock's going to continue going. We can only use the past to help guide the future. And we all know even that can be a bit foggy. So it looks like a couple of us played PLBY today. That was a good one today, especially in the morning with a few explosive moves. Let's see. I seen a couple good one here. VIAC is still selling off. We'll talk about that. Irish Wolf says don't add to a losing position. Never add to a losing position. Ever. It could really destroy your account by adding on to a losing trade. The best thing to do is just cut it and move along. And a lot of people fail to do that because it's that emotional trigger. You don't want to admit that you were wrong. Nobody likes to admit they were wrong. Nobody. I don't care who you are. Even myself sometimes, when I'm in on a trade and if it doesn't work out, I can get stubborn and not cut it and accepting defeat. I was wrong. You have to do that. The market is always right. Remember that. I call the stock market mother. Mother is always right. Mother always knows best. Am I right? So the market is always right, not you. Okay, man, cut a loss quick. Adding to a losing position usually is a big mistake. However, it did get me out of Playboy. PLBY. I'd cut that habit out. I would. Just because you got lucky that one time, you're going to think again in the future, well, it worked last time. I'm going to do it again. And it's a bad habit to develop. Remember, if you break rules, there should be consequences. So you should have a set of rules as a trader. And the consequences, make it be something that you absolutely hate. Like, let's say you hate running. If you break one of your rules, the consequence is you have to run a mile outside, no matter what the weather condition is. Or let's say you hate doing push-ups. You break one of your rules, you got to do 50 push-ups. You have to wire your brain to that. So if you're on the edge and about to break that rule, you have that consequence of, okay, so if I break my rule, I have to do 100 push-ups. And I hate doing 100 push-ups. You might think second before pulling the trigger or breaking that rule. Cupcake says, my big lesson over the past week has been never chase a stock. Let it come to you. Not only saves you from making losses, but improves your mental well-being. If you're in control, there's no need for anxiety. I'm going to agree with you majority on that. You never want to chase after stocks. I always tell you guys, you always want to try to visualize it before it happens. And what do I mean by visualizing it? And I got the perfect example I can show you guys. So we were talking about UTME earlier. Earlier, I kept mentioning and saying UTME. It's setting up really nice on the 10-minute time frame here. You can't really see it because it's a bit faded. If I open the original, you might be able to see it. And if I zoom in, on the 10-minute here, you could see this yellow line. That's the 13 EMA. This blue line is the 55 EMA. This is just my style of trading. I'm a big Fibonacci geek, so I use Fibonacci numbers for my moving averages. There's nothing wrong with using the traditional moving averages that everybody else uses. But the important thing is with all of these trading tools, do whatever works for you. Just because this works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. It may not suit your personality. So that's the whole part of learning this game and the multiple strategies that are out there. Finding what works for you, what you like, and using the tools to help you with your trading styles, your playbook, and so on. So for me, I seen that this 13 EMA was coming right up to this 55 EMA, forming a nice squeeze. And I told the chat, on the 10-minute, it's forming a squeeze. Look for a pop up to 55. I can see it pushing up to that. So from there, time goes by. I'm scrolling here. I said, UTME, here it comes, getting close. Will it pop or will she fail? Keep scrolling. Time passes. I take another snapshot of the 10-minute. It's getting really, really tight. Coming right up to that psychological $50. And this is the part of I'm seeing it and anticipating it before it even happens. Time passes and goes by. It's getting even more tighter. And you can see the stock is getting closer and closer to that 50 bucks. And then more and more time passes, and I anticipated it and seen it, and I took it off before it even ran up to 55. Let me pull up the chart. Here on the 10-minute, see the moving average crossover there? And from 48, this pushed all the way up to almost $56. A $6, $7 move on the 10-minute here. And then after that, crashed right back down. Just sitting patiently. I see it. This is a strategy that I put together. Patience, letting the big time frame play out, anticipating it. And sure enough, got that push all the way up. Got up over the VWAP. Nice rip on it right there. And I was selling it at, what, 51.50? I could have held on to it for another $4. But I like locking in profits along the way. I want to pay myself. So back to the chat. I want to start doing this every day, guys. For you members that are in the chat, every day I'm going to ask, what's a lesson that you personally have learned today? And this is how you also learn from each other. So that was a good one, Cupcake. Hornswoggle said, let's see, I learned to use limit sells on low volume, big spread stocks. Exactly. We just had this discussion in chat today. With the low float, or not a low float, a low volume play like UTME, total volume on the day was 882,000. And you could see how volatile this stock can be. It could be super volatile. So the spread is going to be pretty wide. So if you're just market ordering in and market ordering selling, you're asking for a disaster. You're just playing with fire. The best way to go about trading these low volume stocks, you have to be patient. You have to keep the big picture in mind. And what I do, I get in, I take the ask. I don't have the patience to sit on the bid and patiently get filled. I take the ask, and when the stock starts pushing up, I patiently sit on the ask to get out. I'm not taking away liquidity. When you market sell, you're hitting the bid. So even if you sell on the bid with these low volume type stocks, they can pull the market makers can pull the rug on the bid and prices can just free fall. If you just sit on the ask, you're going to get filled higher. So you're waiting for other people to take you out. You're not going to get filled lower. You're going to get filled at the asking price or higher. So if you patiently wait and let that stock take you out by just sitting on the ask, it's the best way to go. Live and learn. I learned from it in the past. Everybody's got to go through those learning curves. This is just how you get better. You adapt, and then you're better prepared for this type of stuff when it happens again. So there's like multiple little things that you have to pick up and learn to be good in this game. And that's the importance of being here every day and putting that screen time in. Also learn to go with that feeling on a trade where you know it's one trade too many, but you let your finger click that buy button. A lot of times, yeah, you're going to get that gut feeling. Like you could see it, what could happen, but that fear and your emotions take over and you don't press that buy button. And then you watch the stock do as you thought. A lot of people struggle with that. Just about everybody. I don't care who you are, how long you've been around. There's even times where I doubt myself. And I have an idea. I could see what the stock could do, but I don't pull the trigger. And then I watch the stock do exactly as I thought. A lot of times you're going to want to go with your gut when it comes to trading. Also learn to stick with the stock that felt good, constantly climbing CELC. Every time I would try to trade something else, it would distract me. Focusing on, like, I remember back when I was first starting out, I would get overwhelmed and anxiety about knowing what stocks everybody's watching. Like, I would constantly, every day, be freaking out and looking everywhere. Like, oh my, what's everybody watching? What's the number one stock today? What is everybody watching? When I first started, I always had that feeling. And I would always have that feeling that I was missing out. Like, everybody else was trading the number one stock and I was missing out on it. Over the course of time, you're just going to get over that feeling. You're going to start to not care what other people are watching. You're going to not care what all these gurus are calling out. You're just going to want to pay attention to what you want to pay attention to. So that's completely normal. That's emotionally normal as new traders in the market. This market out here right now, it is tough. It is. We are clearly seeing volume dry up across the board, and it's been happening now for a couple weeks. I mean, it was bound to happen, you know? All these pandemic traders come into the markets, volume increases, slowly but surely everybody starts to blow up their accounts. They quit. They don't follow through with this. They give up. Things are going to start going back to normal. So one of the top stocks we had on watch in the pre-market prep was CELC. Beautiful trade on this bad boy. We had it on squeeze watch in the pre-market prep. We said if it gets back over that $23, that's going to be the trigger level for this. Shorts are going to be underwater. Shorts are going to cover. Retail traders are going to show up. Price target $30. And we even said this isn't like a day trading type stock. This is more of like a swing trade type of stock where you hold on to it for the whole day or for a few hours. And this bad boy paid off a lot. Right in the morning from $21 here, perking up to almost 23, pulling back, and then squeezing from 21.50 all the way up to 26. And then throughout the day, just been slowly grinding and grinding. And then at the very end of the day, wants to start to lift and run up to that $30. So a very nice, pretty much $10 move here on CELC. We nailed that call this morning in the pre-market prep. This morning, we also had Playboy, TLBY, on watch. We looked at the daily chart. It pulled back for 2 straight days right here. And then we had that sideways consolidation. This morning, it was gapping up. We said, look for a morning dip. It got the morning dip, and we wanted to see if that $27 would hold as support. And it did exactly that. 27.50 is where this rounded out right here. Perked right back up. Pullback from $28. Look at the surge on this. 28 runs all the way up to $32. A $4 move. That's insane. This is why I pay attention to these higher price stocks like this. Because look at how much they can move. And you don't need many shares to make good profit on something like this. Compared to all those, penny stocks that are moving tenths of a penny at a time. And you have to wait the whole day for it to move up fractions of a penny. Moving $4 like this, you could buy 200 shares. Even half the move on this is $400 in your pocket. So, and it had multiple opportunities throughout the day, pulling back here to 30 and then ripping up $2.50 to $32.50. Pulling all back lunch hours, bottoms out beautifully right here at this 28.70 level, run up to 30.50. End of the day, it's closing near its highs. So good opportunities here on Playboy. This is what I'm talking about. Keeping an eye on these stocks that were in play a week ago, 2 weeks ago. They're still offering opportunities. And this is where all the smart money is. SOS popped up today. We said it pre-market. This thing's going to fail miserably because everybody got caught up right in here. This day, it had like 300 million in volume and it got denied all day at 6. So you have to think back and remember, okay, this stock 3-4 days ago had 300 million in volume on this day. Imagine everybody who got trapped holding, and they've been holding and hoping for this stock to come back. Well, it finally does. And now everybody's going to wash their hands with this stock and move on. So now everybody that chased it here bought everybody's shares here, and the cycle just continues. Human nature never changes. Big deny at $6 again on SOS. Just a garbage stock. Look how hard this thing just failed. From 550s popped up to 586 and then game over. Just straight everybody selling and dumping it all the way down below $5. Makes sense though, right? Everybody who bag hold and got trapped here, they're holding on to it, hoping that it comes back up here so they can wash their hands and move on with the stock. And when they all finally get that opportunity, they do. Thanks for subscribing, Khaled. Hope I said your name right. RGBP made profit, was thinking of messaging you, but not sure if you trade these kind. Let's see real quick. RGBP. Nah. If it's under $3, I stay away from it. It's just I don't like stocks under $3. It's just personal preference. But good job. I mean, solid move today from 4 pennies up to 8 pennies. It's a good trade. It's just my way of thinking with this type of stuff. The more shares you have to buy, the more risk you have on the table. And if you get caught in this and it starts free falling, it could be a disaster. And you know how fast these stocks can fall, especially if they're on the OTC pink sheet market. You want to try to sell into strength. If you wait too long and you're trying to get out when a stock is in bad strength, you're not going to get filled because everybody's panicking, trying to get out, and the market maker fills you when he wants. ATNF was a good one today as well. This thing, just like what we said in the Sunday scan, and even this morning, we're not seeing stocks break out. We're seeing a lot of range-bound plays. So here's another example. High of day test, high of day test, high of day. So we have the stock coming up to high of day 5 times throughout the whole day, and it got denied every single time. So this is like the, 8th chart, and they all look the same. So until you adjust and you pick up on the theme that keeps happening over and over and over again, don't be that guy that's hard-headed and buying these high of day breakouts and then being like, not again. People don't like to admit when they're wrong, and they don't want to adjust. And then by the time they adjust, it's too late. And I always say too, the quicker you pick up on these themes, the more you can profit. And then the more and more and more people that finally figure out what's happening over and over again, they change it up. And I know you guys know I'm telling the truth with that. We've been preaching about it forever. And I just wanted to say, you guys are taking advantage of this trading buddy section here. Good job. If you're a member in this community, what we're focused on here is working together as a team, learning from each other, working together as a team, having multiple eyes in the market. We're all learning from each other. Even Hornswoggle last night going off and posting the calendar for all this upcoming week, what stocks are putting out earnings, giving a little bit of his analysis of what's going on, noticing that every day we're losing more and more volatility. So when you have multiple eyes in the market and you're all working together, that's what it's all about. Everybody's different and everybody sees the market differently. Everybody sees opportunity in multiple different places. There may be some people out there who see opportunity and like trading ETFs. Some people may see opportunity and like trading OTC stocks. Some people like trading options. Some people like trading large cap stocks. Me personally, I like trading small to medium cap stocks that are volatile. That's what I like to trade. So if you have multiple eyes in the market, we're all working together as a team. You show up every day, you get used to how everybody likes to view the markets, and you start trusting in each other. So if you're seeing day in and day out, for an example, Irish Wolf, he's always calling this stuff out and he's spot on. That's his niche. That's what he specializes in. So then you start building that trust of, okay, Mr. Wolf or Irish Wolf knows what he's talking about. All right, what else did we have today? We had a few good opportunities. ACY, good squeeze today. This was in the Sunday scan that it was setting up a huge wedge. Right here, look at that. Multiple days, just setting up a huge wedge. And then right out of the open, this thing runs from $9 all the way up to $14. Just like that. Beautiful opportunity. $9 to $14, that's a $5 move right out of the open. And then after that, just completely does nothing and fades off. ACY has been presenting multiple opportunities. What else did we have? MUDS running from 11 all the way up to almost 13. It's hitting 13 after hours. Beautiful opportunities on this. Let's see, going in and out of the VWAP, holding VWAP here, and then just blast off. Got very volatile here. I was watching the tape right here. Somebody market sold a big amount when it wicked down like that. Right here. From 1250 all the way down to 12. That's because somebody market order sold a huge amount of shares. It was like 18,000 shares they sold at the market. So if you're going to sell that huge quantity, you're going to get a horrible fill. All right, so we talked about VIAC yesterday in the scan, and somebody called out it will bounce. Just because a stock has a sell-off doesn't necessarily mean it has to bounce. It'll bounce whenever it's ready. So what this did, and we were keeping an eye on it, because it had this sell-off from 100 all the way down to $40 and then consolidated. And all it was doing was resting before its next move. We don't know if its next move was going to be to the upside or to the downside. So today it chose to go to the downside. So the sell-off continues. So everybody who all jumped in here anticipating and expecting it to bounce to the upside is now underwater. So it's not ready yet. Keep this stock on tab, because when it does bounce, it's going to be a very good bounce. It is. From $100, it's all the way down to $39. That's a 60% discount on this stock currently right now. But when it does potentially bounce now, it's going to bounce, run up to this 44, 45 area, hold as resistance, and then the next level is going to be like 50, 55. VIAC, it's going to be a good one down the road. See, right out of the open, it looked like it wanted to go, but then just got driven down. And then it consolidated lunch hours. And then at the end of the day, continued pushing down lower. And this is the example we talked about last week as well. When things start to get back to normal, the first hour, maybe 2 hours, is the hottest time to trade. So like right here. And then we go into lunch hours. That's usually when you'll see a stock go sideways. And then when we go into the end of the day, we call power hour. That's when you'll see the stock either continuing to push higher or it'll fade off like it did there. So that's the best example that I can get for what we were talking about the other day. Yeah, I'm more of a volatile trader. I like stocks that like to move and rip dollars at a time. Stocks like UTME, that's a bit extreme, but stocks like ACY, I mean, I love trading these stocks that just rip dollars at a time. I love it. I can't stand being in stocks that just have those death grinds and slowly just grind all day. Kind of like let me give an example. Like PLBY, I love trading charts like this. It's just how explosive those moves can be versus trading something like MUDS. Even though this was a really good mover, holding onto a stock from 1140 to 1240 up $1. It took it from 1120 to 1 o'clock. So it took 2 hours for this stock to move up $1. I just don't have the patience for that. That's just me, though. That's my personality. You know, there may be people out there that they love these types of stocks because they feel they can manage their risk a lot better versus stocks that rip like ACY. They have a hard time managing their risk because of how volatile it likes to move. I'm serious, the more time you put into this, you're going to start learning things about yourself, what you're good at, what you're not good at, your emotional intelligence. You're going to build off of that, and then you're going to start developing these playbook plays and strategies that suit your personality. So for today, myself, it was pretty much a back and forth day for me. Pretty sloppy trading. I'm not going to lie on that. I gotta adjust and get used to this market with volume drying up. I gotta start scaling back with my size. Let's see, we'll go over what I traded today. I'm green on the day, but it's a sloppy green day for me. Total on the day, I'm up 1,300 bucks pretty much. It could have been a great day for me, but like I said, I got sloppy. So, starting off the day, I was very good with my patience. I waited and I waited and I waited. And then ATNF gave a few opportunities. Right here, I took my first trade an hour after the market opened, made profit here. Then I traded it later on in the day. I really loaded up here. I bought 20,000 shares up here, up above 12. But then the more that this was lingering and hanging around, I was looking back and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be holding 20,000 shares and this thing just flush like it did right here. So I got out on it, and then it did pull back down, and then it runs up to $13. But I was able to walk away with 4,600 on it. That's good. I was 2 for 2. I'll take it. Then I ran into PLBY, and I just totally screwed PLBY up. PLBY, I took a $7,200 loss on it. I seen it spike here a few times, just massive, massive rips. And this thing was pulling back nicely. And I thought it was gearing up right here for a push back up to high of day. And it just slowly faded off, held above VWAP. I gave it that long. It came right back up and just failed follow through. I ended up holding on to it and then finally cutting it. Took a $7,300 loss on it. Then KOSS popped up with GameStop. So GameStop popped up right here. And it started to pull back around right here. I was thinking, all right, GameStop just had this surge. It's been trending down recently, the past few days. This could be the big push on it. If you've been tracking GameStop day in and day out, you know GameStop loves to have these huge, huge surges. But my timing was off. You could see it did it here later on. It pulled back, tested VWAP again, and then failed. And then when it was perking up and pulling back, I got in on costs right here, thinking, all right, cost is going to break up over VWAP, run up to 20, maybe 21, because whatever GameStop does, cost follows. But this is where I got super sloppy with my trading, like I said. And then took a almost $6,000 loss on this. And then, at the end of the day, UTME pops up. And I was able to save my day with UTME. UTME getting in here, 4,000 shares at 48. And this was going back to earlier when I seen the squeeze on the 10-minute. All the way up to 50-50. Sold it, made almost 10,000. I made back all my sloppy trades. Pushed me into green for the day. I'll take it. And from there, I closed it up. I was done. I'd much rather end the day Monday green than have it be a red and then have to dig myself out of the trenches Tuesday. Monday, it's always important to start the week off green. That's my goal. I want to start off green, build a cushion, and work from that as the week progresses. So I'm not up much. $1,300 for the day. I had a few sloppy trades. I need to scale back, and I need to take my hand off the trigger. Remember, it's quality, not quantity. So a bit of over trading, and I have to be more patient with my trades. Obviously, if I'm patient with good setups, they work out. But if I'm just jumping on stuff like GameStop that randomly gets a surge, because a lot of times when GameStop gets surges, what does it do a lot of the time? It just slowly fades back off to where it came from. And it just traps people like it did right here and it did right here. So being very observant of a stock's personality. I should have known better. But hey, I'm green. I'll take it. I could have been red. But you know Mr. Wolf. He ain't about to let that happen. So if you guys are interested in joining the Wolf Pack in the community here, head on over to my channel. Click the join button here. Sign up for either the Discord chat, the Wolfpack Ultimate class. Tomorrow, April 13th, Tuesday, we're going to be doing part 6 of the masterclass. We already put 5 classes out. We already have, 10 hours of masterclass content. I plan on doing this all of 2021. Showing you guys everything that I know, how I learned, how I continue to work on myself and improve every day as a trader. And on top of that, we're building a community and a wolf pack here. So far, I'm proud of what I've created and built here. And I love seeing you guys come in here, growing every day. You're getting better and you're becoming more self-efficient. You don't need me. You don't need me to call out stocks or tell you guys what I'm trading. You guys learned from me, took what you wanted, and developed strategies of your own. And now you're self-efficient and you can make your own money in the market. It feels a lot better when you can pull money out yourself versus relying on somebody to call out stuff and following them. You just feel a lot better about that. I mean, come on. Who, it's just that I'm a loss for words for it. Whenever you achieve something yourself, you just feel a lot better about it because you did that. Nobody else, you did that. And with you guys showing up here every day, you're putting in that work, you're showing up, you're on that grind, accepting the process. This isn't going to be an overnight success. Nobody has ever just shown up and was good. Everybody always had a beginning and struggles, but they continued to push every day and they got better and better and better. The only reason I'm as good as I am because I've been doing this for 5-6 years. I've had lots of mistakes, lots of them. Mistakes I've even repeated a few times because I was hard-headed, but I didn't give up. I showed up every day, even on when I had bad days, and I didn't want to show up. I blew up accounts, but what did I do? I refunded the account. I picked myself up. I tried again. Practice, 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 practice. It'll all pay off down the road. It will. But so far, you guys are showing up. And take a step back. Some of you that have been here a week, 2 weeks, a month, a couple months, compare yourself from when you first signed up. How much have you grown? How much have you learned? Did we speed up your learning curve? I think a lot of you guys are, I see it. I see you guys grow every day. A lot of you are getting to the point you call out your own stuff and you don't even have to pay attention to what I call out. The big important thing though is I'm not here to spoon feed you guys alerts. I'm here to show you guys and teach you guys the process so you all could be efficient and trade on your own. Let me uncheck that. I don't have nothing open. Close out. So starting off the week green, focus on, rather than focus on, hey, I want to focus on closing green every day. Get that out of your head. Focus on closing green for the week. If you can close green for the week, that leads into closing green for the month. So if you can consistently focus on just closing green every week, that's your goal. That leads into, okay, I'm green this week, I'm green this week, I'm red this week, I'm green this week. All right, I'm green for the month. Look at that. And then that's how your P&L slowly but surely rises over the course of time. You don't want your P&L to be looking like ACY. You don't. You don't want your P&L being violent swings up, violent swings down, violent swings up, back and forth, and just slowly decaying. You want just a steady just rise in your P&L. Like Microsoft. You look at that daily. This is how you want your P&L to look over the course of time. Like that. Slow and steady, just growing and growing and growing. Sure, you have a couple of hiccups, maybe a couple bad weeks or a bad month, but you always come back. You're taking, not one trade is going to completely take you out and destroy your account. And then just steadily grinding and showing up every day, locking in profits. You're focused on trading another day. Live to trade another day. I want to be here tomorrow. And then you look back 2 years, like, dang, look at my P&L. Steadily but surely grinding up. It's a trip, guys. It's a trip learning this game. It really is. It really opens your mind and your eyes to the world, yourself. You learn things about yourself that you would have never believed. And surrounding yourself with like-minded people, cutting all the negative people out of your life, and then the way you look at people too, and how they perceive and look at life. It's a mind trip. It really is. It really puts life into perspective the more you learn about this game. How people like to think, how they handle their emotions, how they throw their money into the market, how money moves the market, so on and so on. Hawk Driver says you could definitely feel the market changing, as Wolf is saying. Not much continuation, lots of failed breakouts, more big red candles than big green candles. You gotta learn to adapt and carry on. That's the big thing, and that's where a lot of people fail. They don't recognize things are changing and they don't adapt. And then by the time they realize what's going on, it's too late. The quicker you pick up on things changing, you can make the adjustment and carry on. The past like 3-4 videos, even all of last week, what was the theme that I kept repeating over and over? We're not seeing breakouts. You have to have more patience, and we're seeing a lot of range-bound activity. Stocks coming up and testing high of day multiple times. So take that into consideration and in mind. Stocks like ATNF, all you could have done all day was buy the dips on it and sell when it came back up to high of day. Every single time. And that's how you could have traded and made money for the day. Instead of chasing after it, anticipating for it to break up even higher, buying here, and then get dumped on. And then when it comes all the way back up, you think it's going to go again, you buy, thinking it's going to go higher, and you get dumped on. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. You're missing out. I have over 500 videos on my channel filled with golden nuggets and content that you could just learn from to become a better trader. Get on that grind. Get on that study grind. You have to want this. Obsess over this. You could be your own boss. You can. You can achieve this. You just have to put that work in and study, 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 study. Not give up and consistently work on yourself and grow every single day. It'll pay off in dividends down the road, guys. If you guys want to be a part of the community here and the Wolf Pack, I highly recommend joining up with the Discord. There's a lot of good people in here, and we all work together as a team. We watch each other's backs. We learn from all of our mistakes together, and it's much better to be a part of a community than by yourself. Or it's much better being a part of a community with people who actually care and want to be here versus all of these free communities out here where they're just overcrowded and you're just another number. Nobody cares about what you think. They're just, look at it. You got someone here from South Park with a puppet. Just stupid. Like what Takashi69 says, stupid. Alright, guys. I'm done. Be safe out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Tuesday. Awesome day today. Learn every day, guys. Study, 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 study. Obsess over this. You can do it. Yeah, as soon as you guys can figure out that Streamlabs raffle, you get a mouse pad. A free mouse pad. I already paid for it and everything. Someone just has to claim it. Alright, guys. Be safe out there. Like I always say, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. See you guys in part 6 of the masterclass. Peace.